D.B. Cooper, also known as Dan Cooper, was an unidentified man who hijacked Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727 aircraft, in United States airspace on November 24, 1971. During the flight from Portland, Oregon, to Seattle, Washington, the hijacker told a flight attendant he had a bomb, demanded $200,000 in ransom, equivalent to approximately $1,500,000 in 2024, and requested 4 parachutes upon landing in Seattle. After releasing the passengers in Seattle, the hijacker instructed the flight crew to refuel the aircraft and begin a second flight to Mexico City, with a refueling stop in Reno, Nevada. About 30 minutes after taking off from Seattle, the hijacker opened the aircraft's aft door, deployed the staircase, and parachuted into the night over southwestern Washington. The hijacker has never been found or identified conclusively. The hijacker had identified himself as Dan Cooper to buy his one-way ticket in Portland, Oregon, but a reporter confused his name with another suspect, and the hijacker became known subsequently as D.B. Cooper. This is the police composite drawing of what they believe D.B. Cooper looked like in 1971, but stay tuned as we take a deep dive into who D.B. Cooper really was, and we reveal what we think Dan Cooper really looks like, using sophisticated high-tech AI technology to render his image in 1971, and what he could look like in 2024. When the flight landed in Seattle, the hijacker exchanged the flight's 36 passengers for the money and parachutes. Cooper kept several crew members, and the plane took off again, ordered to set a course for Mexico City. The pilots landed safely, but Cooper had disappeared into the night, and his ultimate fate remains a mystery to this day. Despite extensive attempts to find Cooper, the FBI's case was suspended in 2016, and his whereabouts remain unknown. At the time of the hijacking, Cooper was believed to be between 30 to 50 years of age. If he is alive today, Cooper would be in his late 80s or 90s. Because all 3 flight attendants on Northwest Flight #305 have been documented as having various levels of trauma-induced memory loss, the cold case team sought out Cooper's nearest passenger, a university sophomore named William M. Bill Mitchell. This witness, like other travelers on board, wasn't made aware of the ongoing bomb plot, so the FBI considered his observations from directly across the aisle to be the most reliable and objective. They also became the basis for the respected 1972 sketch #2. For the next 2 years, agents constantly came to visit Mitchell at Oregon State University with hundreds of suspect photos, and he rejected them all. On September 21, 2015, Mitchell, now in his mid-60s, agreed to study a series of headshot photos, and he began the fascinating test by pointing directly at the picture of our skyjacking suspect. The hijacker has never been identified. After the plane landed, a witness named Tina Mucklow says she cried like never before while being comforted by one of the co-pilots. Mucklow was left upset by the decision, saying, "He was a criminal who was not only threatening my life, but the lives of all those innocent people on that flight." The FBI cultivated a suspect and felt they had very strong leads as to why this was the true identity of D.B. Cooper. The man's name was Robert Rackstraw. Rackshaw was later taken off the suspect list. Special agents eliminated him as a hijack suspect in 1979, after no direct evidence of his involvement could be found. In the 1980s and 90s, Rackstraw became a respected University of California, Riverside, law instructor and arbitration expert with 3 degrees. In 1980, a small portion of the ransom money was found along the banks of the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington. The discovery of the money renewed public interest in the mystery, but yielded no additional information about the hijacker's identity or fate, and the remaining money was never recovered. For 45 years after the hijacking, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, maintained an active investigation and built an extensive case file, but ultimately did not reach any definitive conclusions. The crime remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in the history of commercial aviation. The FBI speculates Cooper did not survive his jump for several reasons: the inclement weather on the night of the hijacking, Cooper's unsuitable clothing and lack of proper skydiving equipment, the largely forested area into which he jumped, his apparent lack of detailed knowledge of his landing area, and the disappearance of the remaining ransom money, suggesting it was never spent. In July 2016, the FBI officially suspended active investigation of the Northwest hijacking case, although reporters, enthusiasts, professional investigators, and amateur sleuths continue to pursue numerous theories for Cooper's identity, success, and fate. Cooper's hijacking, and several imitators during the next year, immediately prompted major upgrades to security measures for airports and commercial aviation. Metal detectors were installed at airports, baggage inspection became mandatory, and passengers who paid cash for tickets on the day of departure were selected for additional scrutiny. Boeing 727s were retrofitted with eponymous Cooper vanes, specifically designed to prevent the aft staircase from being lowered in flight. By 1973, aircraft hijacking incidents had decreased as the new security measures dissuaded would-be hijackers whose only motive was money. We took some of the photo, combined with data that we accumulated, and have created an AI rendering of what we think D.B. Cooper actually looked like in 1971, and what he may look like today. Here's a look at what we think D.B. Cooper looks like. This is our rendering of what D.B. Cooper looked like in 1971. And this is what we think D.B. Cooper looks like. If he's alive today, he would be 90 years old. While no one can know for certain what happened to D.B. Cooper that night, it has become an exciting mystery for fanfare throughout history. One of the greatest historical robberies in the United States. Comment down below if you think D.B. Cooper is still alive, or did he perish the night that he jumped out of that plane and get devoured by wild animals because of possibly being injured from the fall and bleeding. Comment down below what you think, and thank you for watching the Blockbuster video channel. I'll see you on the next video. Hit the like and subscribe if you enjoy this video or any of our others.